Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna try this again. Let's check to see if we have some sound here. Didn't have sound last time, so let's try this again. All right, let's see if there is sound. So let's try this again. Okay, we got sound now. Okay, I wanted to hop back on because I had to get off because my time was over with WMEG radio. But the topic was good. So I just wanted to get back on and share a few more things that I wasn't able to talk about. And then also in the chat, Brianna had asked for tips to overcoming self-doubt. And I gave the one tip about identifying your strengths and your weaknesses and then building off of that. But then I had forgot I also had already prepared some tips based on the different topics that we were talking about. And I didn't say them. So I wanted to share that and then go back to saying yes to yourself. So, some of the tips for overcoming self doubt when it comes to your career and you're thinking, I'm not good enough. The tips are track your wins, upgrade your skills, affirm your values, and reframe mistakes. So, for reframe mistakes, I'm going to see them as a lesson. It's not a proof that you're inadequate. Just see it as a lesson. I made this mistake. Now I'm going to do this next time because we're always learning from our mistakes. So that's what I want you to remember. So for a career, if you're there and you're thinking, I'm not good enough, track your wins. And when you track your wins, applaud yourself for your wins, celebrate your wins, upgrade your skills. If you think that if I had this skill, I would be more useful, than upgrade your skills because that could have been one of your weaknesses when you identified your strengths and your weaknesses. Affirm your value. I bring value to my work, and then reframe your mistakes. And then also for relationships, if you feel as though I'm not worthy of love or respect, this is a tip for overcoming self doubt. Heal your inner dialogue. How are you going to do that? Pay attention how you speak to yourself. Challenge every critical thought. And this is from previous lessons. We're going to reframe the negative thoughts. So you're going to turn that negative into a positive. Practice healthy boundaries. The boundaries will affirm your needs and feelings, they matter. Reflect on healthy examples and then choose self compassion daily. Be the kind of partner to yourself that you desire in others. Because that's just like treat people the way you want to be treated. So treat your person in that relationship how you want to be treated, and prayerfully it will be reciprocated. And if it's not, then y'all need to have a conversation. And what we talked about before, in order to be in a relationship, you have to be able to communicate. It takes two to communicate. So you're going to do listening. Somebody's going to be talking, and somebody's going to do active listening. And then after that, you're going to go back and have a dialogue about what was said, what was heard, how you feel. So you have to do all of that as well. Then we have creativity, overcoming self doubt in your creativity. If you think, who do I think I am to do this? Create without pressure. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. Creativity thrives in freedom. So you need to feel free to do what it is that you're seeking to do. Feel free to do what it is that you love to do. So that means if your creative space and you love to sing and that is your creative space, there has to be freedom within in that arena. You have to feel that I am able to do this. And if I mess up, guess what? I'm still going to go ahead and do this. Silence the comparison. We talked about this last week as well. Stop comparing yourselves to others. Stop comparing yourselves to others. You're going to focus on I had to check again because I saw no sound, but I'm like, I thought I had sound. I'm sorry. Okay, so you're going to focus on what you're good at. And you're going to remember that you are unique. You are unique. So you don't need to compare yourself to others, because in that creative space, there may be 5 people doing what it is that you are doing. But do they bring your unique gifts, your unique talents to it? No, they don't. Why? Because they're your gifts, your talents. You are unique. You are one of a kind. So you have to feel free to be in that space to do the things that you want to do. Then also, for comparison, start small and share. So you can start small with a small group of people who you know have your best interests in mind, and then you can share in that safe space and then allow them to provide feedback. And you're going to listen to the feedback, and if there needs to be changes, you're going to make changes. That's what your community is for, in a safe space. And then affirm your originality. Originality. You're unique. You're allowed to be in that space. You're bringing something to the table. And then the last part for that was dealing with purpose. Yes, it was dealing with purpose. And if you had self-doubt with purpose, I don't know if I'm meant for this. How can you rebuttal that? Reconnect with your why. Ask what breaks your heart, what brings you joy. Think about those things, reconnect with your why. Try, test, explore. Purpose often unfolds through movement, not waiting. Try out something, test it, explore it. Trust the process. Trust the process. It might not go the way you want it to, but trust the process. Just start it and allow it to flow. You don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. Just start. It'll come. Speak life over your journey. I am always saying this. You need to speak life. You need to speak life. You need to speak life. You need to pour into yourself and speak life. So whatever journey you're on, you need to speak life over it. So that was to answer the question that Brianna had put in the chat about how can you overcome self-doubt, or what tips can you do for self-doubt. But the main thing I want you to do is also write out your strengths and your weaknesses. Write your list of strengths, write your list of weaknesses. I want you to applaud yourself and celebrate your strengths. Pick like 3 of the strengths and see how you can improve on them. They're your strength, but that don't mean they're top notch. You mastered them. See how you can improve on them. Then I want you to look at your weaknesses, and I want you to pick out at least 3 weaknesses that will add value to your life if you get the necessary skills to improve on those weaknesses. So find those 3 weaknesses that are going to bring value to your life and improve on those weaknesses. And those weaknesses will eventually move over to the strengths. And that is how you're consistently growing and you're developing yourself. So that is how you can overcome self-doubt. The last thing we were talking about before I logged off earlier was saying yes to you. We talked about why it is hard for people to say to yes to themselves. We broke it down into categories like parents, single individual, people in relationships, leaderships. We had different topics. And then we also identified some of the steps you can take to make time for yourself. We took some of the steps that you can take to make time for yourself. I just want you to know that you need to take time for yourself. You need to be able to have those moments where you are resting. Have those moments where you are being poured into. Have those moments where you are just at peace and you are still. You have to rejuvenate yourself. You have to revive yourself. Because once again, you cannot give to others what you don't have. You're exhausted. What are you going to give other people? You're going to give other people exhaustion. And what does that mean? You're going to give them all of your frustrations because you're exhausted. They're asking you to do something, so you're going to do it. And it's not going to be coming from a loving manner. It's going to be coming from exhaustion. So that means you're going to be easily frustrated. You may say some things that's going to hurt somebody's feelings. So that way you need to know, set boundaries, stop. I cannot do this right now. I can come back to it later, but I need to take time for me. I am tired. My body needs to rest. My mind needs to rest. So I want you to align yourself. Make sure that you're in alignment with your body. That means you understand what is going on with your body. If you're mentally exhausted, if you're physically exhausted, you need to listen to your body. Don't wait till it's too late. Now, that was that portion. And then I just wanted you all to make sure that you tune in next week. We're going to a new topic. We're going to a new topic. We have talked about for the past 4 topics about us identifying ourselves, identifying self. So now our next topic for the next 4 weeks will be discovering the power within you, owning your story from shame to strength. So I just want you to tune into that next week. Once again, I encourage you to re-listen, reflect, and repeat. If you have not followed on YouTube, follow on YouTube. If you have not followed or subscribed on Instagram, follow and subscribe on Instagram. I'm sorry, on YouTube and Facebook. And until then, I will see you all next week.